on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. If you happen to be new around here, my name is Trevor and this is Anna. We are the Delightful Travelers. If you're not new, it's nice to see you again, and if you are, we're really excited that you're here.
This is going to be a really fun day. We are in the Annapolis Valley and we're starting things off in the beautiful, historic Annapolis Royal. So we are filming this at the end of the summer and it's actually a really cool day. It feels like fall and I don't approve of this. I want summer to last forever. It's also really, really windy, so hopefully you can hear us okay throughout the day as we film. This is a really, really special town. Not only is it very historic for both Nova Scotia and for Canada, we'll tell you more about that later. It's where I was born and where I was raised, so that really makes it extra special.
So if you're wondering where we are right now, we're at a fort. The fort is called Fort Anne, and it's smack dab right in the middle of the cutest little town here in Nova Scotia.
And like I said, there is loads and loads of history here. I think this is somewhat debatable, but I think Annapolis Royal is considered the first permanent settlement in Canada.
That's just crazy to think about to me.
I know, so 1605 I think it was, the French settled here. It's
Now
really crazy.
I have a question. I wonder if that is the case, why on this side of the province? You know, so you would just think when the Europeans would come over here, they would land on the east coast of Nova Scotia, and this is on the west.
I think I had read something about them first being in the US and they made their way up the coast, so I guess maybe they kind of came that
Makes
way
sense.
and then decided maybe it's a safe place they could kind of protect it. I have to say, growing up here was a lot of fun, especially with the fort, because as you can see there's like hills all over the place, so in the summertime we would roll down them. They're pretty steep too, and we get of course covered in grass stains, and then in the wintertime we would go sledding down them.
So we're just walking around the edge of the perimeter here of the fort, and you can see why they chose this location. Anna is back here standing on a bench. Why are you standing on a bench?
Got a really good view up here. You can see why they made this a fort. Like, it's got a perfect view of the whole Annapolis Basin. Where we were in our last video of Digby is way up at the end there, so you would see the ships coming in if they were coming to attack you. So I'm going to try to tell you a little bit about the history. I'm probably going to get some things wrong, but hopefully I'll have it basically right, and you can of course look it up. It's all on Wikipedia. There's lots of websites. You can go to the Fort Anne website and check it out. But basically the French came here in 1605. They actually settled in Port Royal, which is just about 10 kilometers from here. Not very far. You can actually visit it's called the Habitation. It's they rebuilt basically what was originally there. I think it burned down about 10 years after they settled there. Eventually the settlement moved here to what is now Annapolis Royal, and I think at some point the British took it over and it became Fort Anne, named after the Queen at the time.
There's actually one more very important part we just left out. This used to be the capital of Nova Scotia. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's why it was so important. Until about 1749, I think it was, something like that. And they moved it, of course, to Halifax, I think probably because of its location. But for a long time, it was the capital of Nova Scotia. And it's debatable on whether it was the first permanent settlement in all of Canada. I think some people say it's St. John's, but I think there's a lot of debate over that.
So whether it is St. John's in Newfoundland or here or somewhere else in Canada, it's absolutely crazy to think about this place, Annapolis Royal, could be the oldest town in all of Canada.
So one thing we are pretty sure of is that this is the oldest graveyard in Canada. It's called the Garrison Cemetery. They have some super old graves here. Most of them you can't even read, they're so old, and some of them have fallen apart. It's really interesting, and I think during regular season, when it's not a pandemic, they do graveyard tours. They've been doing them for years. I've sadly never been on one, but I've heard amazing things about it. So if you're coming here in a regular season, definitely check that out.
I've never quite seen headstones like this. Anna just said it's really hard to make some of them out. These are easily the oldest that I've ever seen on any of our travels. We don't just travel around Nova Scotia. We've been to close to what, 50 countries
Almost
now.
50 countries, yeah.
And we've seen some old graveyards, but
Yeah,
this
we've gone
one,
to some pretty epic graveyards.
oh yeah, maybe we'll link one or two, but this one is pretty special.
Not only is this town known for its amazing history, it's also known for having loads and loads of artists that live in the area. So there's lots of galleries, cafes, that kind of thing. So let's go check out the town.
Well, this town is officially adorable. It might be the most charming little town I've ever come
I
across.
was just gonna say, it's super charming. It always has been, but I think it just gets more and more so. As you walk, you see all these like old wooden buildings, but also
Yeah.
old brick buildings. There's lots of character. There's cafes. There's lots of art galleries.
It's an easy place. Like I can almost picture it as take out the cars and take out the pavement and put in gravel roads. You know, it's like a throwback. I can almost feel what it would be like to be here way back in the day.
Yeah. So here's an interesting little fact for you. When I was about 17 or 16, I think, in grade 11, my parents sold the house that I lived in my entire life, and my mother and I moved up here. We lived in that apartment right above this building for grade 11 and grade 12 of my life.
So now we just stumbled across the farmers market here. Now I didn't think it was open during the week. This is early in the week. I actually heard about this market where I grew up in Cape Breton, which is the very north of the province. So.
Yeah, this must be one of the original farmers markets in all of the province. It obviously went throughout my entire life in the summer times. Saturday in particular, this is not Saturday, I think it's Wednesday today as we film this. It happens on Wednesday. Saturday it's typically like bustling. Obviously I haven't been here in years, but I'm assuming it would still be the same.
Normally
way,
I think there's tables in the middle, is that right?
It's just packed full of different vendors, fruits, vegetables,
Yeah.
bread, arts and antiques. Yeah, it's really
I
neat.
think it's awesome that, you know, this is COVID times and even in the middle of the week this place is still open, still staying strong. Love it.
So we just came across a little place that sells jewelry made of sea glass. They actually go around the province and collect sea glass from the various beaches in the area and across the province. And typically we don't do a whole lot of shopping when we're traveling just because, you know, we spend our money on travel typically when, you know, there's not a pandemic. But I often buy jewelry when we're traveling and especially love it when I can find some local stuff.
All right, what did you go for here?
These pretty kind of simple, not too colorful, but they're like really elegant. I like them.
Oh, you're gonna have to try them on maybe by the end of the video.
Yeah.
So we just came over to a beautiful winery called Lightfoot and Wolfville, and it is unbelievable. The setting here is out of this world. There's vines everywhere. It's overlooking the basin, and there's this gorgeous patio in the back where you can have lunch, which is what we're about to do. But first, we have a flight to try.
So we decided to go for a flight because I don't think either of us have actually tried their wine here before. I don't believe anyway, not that I recall. And it seemed like the best way to get a little bit of a sample and then we'll pick our favorite and order a glass. So I made a wine decision. I went for the rosé. I love a nice light rosé at lunchtime. And Trevor got the Tidal Bay, which we'll probably tell you more about in the next video. We're actually going to be doing a wine tour and going to various wineries, and I'm sure Tidal Bay is going to come up in conversation. Also, did anybody notice that I'm wearing my earrings that I bought yesterday? I think they look quite nice on. And lastly, we got some pizza. So excited for this, so excited.
That is an intense looking pizza.
Yeah, these guys have a wood oven here, I believe, so they're really well known for the pizzas. It's what you have to get, and they have an awesome menu. It's hard to pick, but we went for the crumbled pork sausage. It's got caramelized onions and, of course, apples, because we are in the Annapolis Valley. It's known for apples. And goat cheese, I think it is.
Okay, here we go. I got a piece of pizza now. I'm going to use a fork and knife to eat this. What's funny is, I mean, we make a lot of videos, we travel around the world, and so many times people are like, why are you using a fork and knife to eat pizza? This kind of pizza, I use a fork and knife with. It's wood oven, fancy pizza, let's call it fancy pizza. If we're on a street corner in New York, yes, I'm gonna use my hands. Okay, here we go. I'll tell you, this smells like it's going to be a good pizza. I think I got a bit of everything. That is delicious. Every time, I'll tell you right now, I always think I want a red pizza, like red sauce. Anna convinces me to get a white sauce pizza, and I end up absolutely falling in love with it. On this thing is goat cheese, apples from the Annapolis Valley, as Anna said, and there is caramelized onions. It just makes for such a good combination. It's rich, it's flavorful. The sauce itself, I mean, there's clearly some secret sauce going on there, but that is maybe the best. I say maybe the best because what's the best is the crust. This is a wood-fired oven. I saw them back there putting it in, and it just has those charred marks that we absolutely love. You've heard of us say this in the past, but we love pizza like this.
All right, my turn. It's always a little bit torture being the second one to try something because I have to watch him and I'm starving over here. Looks delicious. It smells delicious.
I think it tastes even extra good because of the setting, if that makes sense. Not too bad, right?
It's so good. It's delicious. So the thing about a white pizza that I really enjoy is that because you don't have the like tomato sauce on there, it's you really taste the ingredients more so than the sauce. It's what really comes through. So when you have ingredients like this, like the pork, goat cheese, I love goat cheese. A little bit of sweetness from the apple. There might be some like honey or something drizzled over there perhaps. I could be guessing on that one, but it's just, great combo. I love it.
So I'm sure that some of you that are watching that are not from Nova Scotia are surprised, and I hope pleasantly surprised, that we have vineyards like this. We have wine, amazing wine in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's predominantly here in the Annapolis Valley, in this region in particular. You can find them a little bit distributed throughout Nova Scotia, but this is where most of them are. In the next video, we're going to get really into that.
We are, and not only is the wine maturing, getting better every year, the facilities, like where they make the wine, are gorgeous. This one is out of this world, and in the next video you're gonna see more of them, like Anna said, and we'll try to showcase some of the buildings because just each one is so unique and different, and it's a lot of fun to explore. That's why the valley is so popular.
And of course we'll also be trying the wine as well.
Oh, yes.
So we live in Halifax, which is only an hour drive from here. We've been up quite a few times in the past few years, but not nearly enough considering how close we are. And if you're wondering about the types of wines that do well here, definitely more on the white side, sparkling side. A few reds, but not really as much. So we figured we'd give you a quick little tour of where we're staying before we move on to our next place. This is the Blomidon Inn, definitely one of the most iconic places to stay here in Wolfville.
Just take a look at this place. The gardens are so green. There are flowers everywhere, and the building itself is epic. You can't miss it. It's red, it's old Victorian, there's pillars. I absolutely love this place. Every time we come by to the valley and we drive by, I'm always like, we need to stay here. Well, today we're staying here and we're gonna show you what it's like.
So when you stay here, you have a whole bunch of options. You can stay here in the main mansion, the main building. It's really, really big in there. But then they have a whole bunch of other buildings. We're staying in an executive room, which is in an outer building, so we'll go check it out.
So we were fortunate enough to have our room upgraded, and here's what it comes with. So we have this outdoor area. There's so much space here, and it's all ours.
Yeah, it's super loungy. You have the lounges over there, lots of places to sit. So over here.
And, well, another little area, and look, it's so green out there.
So welcome to our beautiful room. It's actually multiple rooms, but we'll show you that in a second. Love all the built-ins. Got a big TV here and a fireplace.
Also got some comfy chairs there. And
right here we have a wee little kitchenette. It's got a little fridge and a microwave and that kind of thing in there.
that's perfect. It's pretty much everything, has everything you need to have a set.
Got the very important desk over here.
Ooh.
Editing station. Very cool bed. Check out this 4-poster bed.
I
Again, we have the
know.
built-ins in here. There's actually an extra bed over there. We're just using it for storage because, you know, there's not 3 of us. And another little like sitting area, I guess, do your makeup kind of thing over here. I have my laptop set up. But.
So I want to show you guys the video I have that I'm working on right now that I'm editing. Take a look at this because I want you to see it. So this video would be out on the channel by now. It's about where to stay and where to eat in Cape Breton, but there's a cool little visual here.
So for now, I think we're just going to relax for a little bit, then get ready.
I think you're going to like it.
Yes, we are going to eat again.
So that building you're seeing is the Celtic Lodge. It's one of the most iconic buildings in all Nova Scotia, and that's where we do most of the eating at in the video. Anyway, if you get a chance, go back and check it out. I'll be sure to link it, but now we're going to show you the bathroom.
All right, last but not least, we have a pretty awesome bathroom here. Over here, there's a huge jetted tub. I had a bath here last night.
That's the best part, for
Yeah.
sure.
Nice shower over here, toilet, and your sink.
So next up, we have one more thing to show you. It's something that we haven't done in a while, but we think we're going to have a lot of fun. Get ready, because we're going to church.
come over right to the middle of the town of Wolfville, and you'll see why we reference church. We are going to church brewing.
Do you see what's behind us right now? Have you ever seen a brewery in a church?
So just like the wine earlier, we decided to get a flight so we can try a bunch of different things and pick our favorite. But I want to tell you a little bit about the story, the history of this place, because we heard a little bit about it today. Basically, two brothers that were from Nova Scotia but lived away for a long time wanted to move back. They decided they wanted to open a brewery, and they wanted it to be somewhere really unique in an old historical building of some sort, something really fun and different. And they looked around at a whole bunch of different places, but they came across this church here in the middle of Wolfville. They figured Wolfville is the perfect place to do it, and they created this restaurant first, then turned it into a brewery. But the funny thing was that at the point that they bought it, it wasn't a church anymore. There'd been storage or something, and most of the stuff from inside was gone. At the same time, a church in Halifax was being torn down, so they ended up getting all the stuff from the inside, all the windows, I think, like the floorboards, the lights, like all the church stuff, the bells, that kind of thing. So yeah, they ended up decorating it with that stuff. So it's been a super fun couple of days. Had to visit Annapolis Royal, really cute little town, lots of history there. Came to Wolfville to have some drinks, some wine, some good food.
I think you guys are wondering if the beer is good. It is. We didn't even say that in the last clip. Hopefully you enjoyed the tour. We have more Valley videos coming up. We're going on a full-on wine tour, and we can't wait to show you guys, because the wine here, as we said, is absolutely epic.
Yeah, we're gonna do some wine stuff, and then maybe we'll go see the Bay of Fun Day, something like that.
Probably. Also, we wanted to say a big thanks to Tourism Nova Scotia for making this happen. And guys, if you all got this far in the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, because it probably means you like it. If you got this far, you probably like it. That helps us out. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about this whole thing.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Wolfville, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.